You're listening to Ping, a podcast by AINTEC discussing all things related to measuring the internet. I'm your host, George Michelson. This time on Ping, I've got two guests from the Thai internet research community. Sukumal Kitisin from Kasetsart University and Adison Lertsin-Subtavi from Interlabs, which operates in the Asian Institute of Technology, or AIT. AIT is well known to the internet measurement community. It supports the AINTEC conference, along with organisations like APAN Thailand, the WIDE Project, and the AINTEC Foundation. It's chaired by Professor Kanchana Kanchanasat from AIT, and the programme committee has worldwide participation. We featured AINTEC on Ping before, talking to students and presenters at the Vietnam meeting, and recently at UNSW in Sydney, when AINTEC met in conjunction with SIGCOM. Today, we're going to talk about two different kinds of internet measurement activity being done in the Thai internet community. One is about the internet itself. The other is using internet protocols to measure the environment. First off, let's hear from Sukumal, who's discussing a classic internet edge measurement exercise which is aimed at providing information to help govern the communications industry. Sukumal is doing this research for the Thai Consumer Council. It's a consumer-driven internet speed measurement study. The activity is part of the ISOC PIMF model, which leverages the ISOC Pulse community. So today, we've got two guests with us from the Thai internet community. These are long-standing members of the local Thai community from the academic world. And they've got two different stories that are both about measurement in Thailand, but they're really very different. Adison, Sukumal, welcome to Ping.
Hello, George.
So could you each say a little bit about yourself? Sukumal, could you go first?
Hi, I'm Sukumal Kitisin. I'm a faculty member at Computer Science Department, Kasetsart University in Bangkok, Thailand.
That's KU University.
Yes.
Is that like a state, a national university?
It's the state-regulated university.
Right. And Adison?
Hi, George. Yeah, my name is Adison Lertsin-Subtavi. It's quite a long name. So currently, I'm holding the position as the director of Interlabs. It's a research center working on the research on internet and education laboratories.
Yeah,
and also be part of the Asian Institute of Technology, AIT.
AIT, which we've all heard from, and I think we've had other guests from AIT appearing on the program. A great long-standing institution. So we have two different stories. Sukumal, if I start with you, your story is a classic internet measurement story, isn't it? But it's not kind of like a university research program. This is something you're doing with another body. That's right?
Yes, I'm doing a research study for Thailand Consumers Council in order to measure the upload-download speed, sort of like speed tests for mobile operators in Thailand.
And the Consumer Council covers all kinds of consumer service. This is not just the Telecommunications Consumer Council. So they might be interested in water quality or in the price of bandages from Boots the chemist. They do everything, but you're helping them assess mobile and Wi-Fi services. Is that only in the city or is it across the entire country?
We project to do the whole country. It depends on the volunteers that we get on board on the projects. So far, our volunteers kind of scattered throughout the country, but the number is not mass yet.
Well, let's come back and talk about that in a minute. So there are two primary different ways. I hate false dichotomies. There's probably 100 ways, but the two ways we often see, there's passive measurements where you watch things in flow, and there's active measurements where you put traffic in the network and you measure its behavior. Are you in passive or active or both?
Our measurements is on the active side. We actually have our volunteer install programs like Ookla Speedtest and also OpenSignal.
So OpenSignal is measuring things like the 4G and 5G signal strength down low. You're doing that?
No, it's on the same level as Ookla Speedtest.
Right. So this actually is a well understood measure. I mean, in large in the community, people can just take out their phone and do an Ookla test while they're on a BTS train in suburban Bangkok, or they can do it at home. So I think there's good acceptance from people at large. Is that why you chose this?
Yes, that's correct. It's the tool is the two of the popular applications that used for testing the speed for the mobile phones. And we also thinking about using the MLab NDT tools as well.
So with MLab, there's quite stringent quality concerns around public data and access to data.
Yes.
But that also means independent researchers are going to be able to come and integrate into this and reflect on the data.
That's correct.
I think it's lovely for reproducibility. So you mentioned it's volunteer-driven.
Yes, it's volunteer-driven.
How are you recruiting your volunteers?
Thailand Consumers Council has their network with people within different regions, different provinces in Thailand. So they helped us recruit those volunteers on board.
Right. But that potentially has a degree of population skew, because obviously with a massive urban centre and then a rural large economy, you risk getting a lot of dense measures in Metro Bangkok and not enough in the smaller communities.
Yes.
Do you have like a statistical model in mind that you will be using to adjust for this?
We just started it this December.
Oh, this is a new program.
Yes, it's a new program. So we'll have to see how many volunteers we get in each part of the countries, and then we can assess.
So also, people are people, and they generally occupy the daylight hours. How are you managing to collect enough data to get a balance across the full day?
Currently, we divide the time to collect data into 3 periods during the day. So they use the applications and then tested it and then send us the result 3 times a day.
Yeah. And do you have a reminder framework to try to get them?
Yes, we use like Line OA in helping reminding them. Sending the notification, hey, this is the time that you have to test it.
There's a meta measure here. You could probably get one of your students in the maths department to do an analysis of the Gaussian distribution of their measurement time against reminder. I really wonder how they would cluster. So you're using Ookla, you're gathering classic bandwidth. It's both directions. It's both upload and download, isn't it?
Yes.
And there are congestion issues in the modern network deployment. People often observe in my economy in Australia that when 3G was turned off, things got worse because 3G had amazing reach. Are you in a 5G enabled network now?
Yes, we are.
That covers quite a broad range of speed capability. So the downgrade options in 5G are quite high, aren't they?
Yes, we have seen some of the traffic that's switched from 5G to 4G in some area.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of information in this. So how long do you expect this project to run?
It will run until June this year.
Right. And you'll be delivering a report back to the Consumer Council?
Yes, that's correct.
And after that, what happens next? Does that then go to the Thai regulator, or is it just part of the general community?
I believe Thailand Consumers Council will use that result and reflect some message to the NBCT, National Broadcasting and Telecommunications.
But that's maybe a more social policy and governance question than a measurement. You're in data science and you're producing the information.
That's correct.
But you're going to publish some papers out of this, right? I mean, you're an academic.
We hope so.
Yeah. I really look forward to hearing some more about that, Sukumal. That's fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Now, let's hear from Adison Lertsin-Thrubtavi, who is working on the measurement of air quality across the Southeast Asian region. This measurement activity uses small devices that measure the fundamentals of air quality and provide data over low bandwidth protocols like LoRaWAN. This is designed for Internet of Things low-power devices, and it permits Adison's project to deploy sensors deep in the forests of Southeast Asia, as well as in domestic and rural farm locations, and provide a time series that reflects a persisting problem of forest fires and agriculture-related burn-offs. These and other sources of particulate and carbon monoxide air pollution have been contributing to a long-term problem of haze. The project is called Sea Hazemon, and it aims to provide early warning signals to help guide local forest fire authorities. It uses cloud services and several generations of sensor deployed in the field. So, Addison, you're actually doing something that's really completely different to this. It's still a measurement project, but it's not about measuring the internet as much as using the internet to measure a real-world problem. Is that right?
Yeah. So now I working on a project called Sea Hazemon, which actually initiated by Professor Kanchana from AIT, who is my mentor. And this project, we aim to build a low-cost sensor for the air pollution monitoring across the Thailand and also in Southeast Asia as well.
This measurement, have you acquired a device? Are you using some kind of commercially available sensor, or have you been building a system?
We are building our own system by taking the microcontrollers, and then we develop it on the electric circuit board called PCB. But for the sensor part, we're just using a low-cost sensor model in the market.
Yeah.
So we have been integrators or building the hardware part and also the software parts as well.
And the sensor that measures this, how do you actually measure this?
The PM sensor, we are using the technique called light scattering. So in that sensor, they have some kind of a laser beam to push in there. And then when you have particles in the chamber, you can have some kind of reflections of that. And we imagine that in the sensor box, you have a small box here. You have a small chamber inside that. And then in that chamber, we have a laser generator source to put in. And then we also have the some kind of a motor to suck in the air from inside. So imagine that if you have the air is being polluted with small particles, right?
Yeah.
The light, the laser beam that you put in can be scattered because of a lot of...
So you measure the dispersion of the beam.
Exactly.
And there's a function, a well-known function that models particle size to dispersion and particle density.
Yeah, density. We more consider on densities and also the particle size as well.
Yeah.
We convert them to the units microgram per cubic meters.
Yeah. So we're all used to the idea of it's asthma and coughing, but it goes well beyond that, doesn't it? This actually is a significant health burden.
Yeah, it's become like a critical issues in our regions because now we have a lot of patients, like in statistics, right? Patients have been come for to treat, looking for the treatment for the disease like NCD, lung cancers, stroke. So and that related to the major source came from the PM2.5. That you can inhale this bad air into your lungs and so on.
So I think you can also measure other things like CO, carbon monoxide, which is more directly related to engine pollution and forest fires. You're measuring that as well using gas measurement?
Yeah, because in our goals objective, like we're not only measuring the air pollution in the city, but we also try to use the sensor, the platform, to tracking the forest fire and wildfires as well. It's one of the majors.
So this is also part of fire management and understanding exposure of risk from forest fires.
And the CO2 that you mentioned is it's kind of the signal from the forest fire that's coming in.
So you built a microcontroller-based system. Is this running a Linux, Unix operating system, or is it microcontroller like ESP32? What kind of coding is this?
Yeah, we have kind of mixed because we have been, this project is running from 2016. So we have a lot of versions of the equipment.
So this is a long baseline project.
Yeah. And it still continue.
Yeah. So you have several versions of technology deployed. How many probes do you have deployed in the field?
Right now, we have been deployed more than about 200 nodes in the regions already.
And this is across Thailand?
Across Thailand, and also we have been expanded to Indonesia, Philippines, Laos, and recently we expand to Burma, Nepal, and Australia as well.
Wow, that's a huge network. That's really impressive. So these devices obviously can't just patch into an Ethernet in a cabinet in a hotel and get 10 megabit bandwidth. Mm-hmm. How are you gluing these things together?
Good question. Because since we are target to many parts of the world, right, parts of the region, so we try to collect the data by using a lot of means, like we are using Wi-Fi, LoRaWAN, and also 4G cellular connections as well.
So these protocols, I mean, 4G and cellular is just part of lived experience, but LoRaWAN is a little off to one side.
Yeah.
This is actually in some ways designed for small devices sending small bursts of data. Mm-hmm. You're not generating a massive stream of data at a probe, are you?
Sure, because these sensors have consumed a very little bandwidth, just sending some, but this kind of critically, because you need to send this more frequently, but just consume a very less bandwidth.
And do you have an IoT orchestration framework to coordinate this system?
Yes, we do have some kind of, let's say the controllers, and that is based on MQTT actually.
Right. Yeah. And then you have a publish subscribe framework for a data feed, and it's generating a time series signal.
Yeah, time series signal.
So when you deploy a probe, you have a latitude, longitude, you get positional, you know if it's indoor or outdoor. The probe goes live. Do you have to give it like a battery backup to take care of power supply, or is it just plug into the mains and it goes?
Depends. So because in the deployment areas, so some area we place it in the buildings or house, so you can use like the stable electric source. But in some area, like we want to, our application is forest fire detection, so we need to deploy them in the forest. So
there isn't a convenient Wi-Fi point in the forest, is there?
Yeah, and then we use like solar panels and batteries and LoRaWANs come to the place as well to connect those sensors.
Right, because it's able to sustain data management with unreliable underlying substrate. So you're collecting this data. What then happens? Are you doing a data processing cycle? If it's been running from 2016, you must have a significant body of data.
Yeah, isn't it? It's quite huge amount of data coming to our database.
Have you got a predictive quality in this? For instance, could it be an early warning system that shows you the movement of things?
Yeah, we do that because we are doing kind of machine learning and develop some kind of data modeling as well, because we wish the compounds parameters that we mentioned there, we try to detect some kind of behaviors of the burnings, like the forest fire burning, and to provide some early warnings to the people who live in the field.
So you can actually close the feedback loop. You can tell people in advance, this is not a good time to be doing stuff outside. Perhaps you can even tell people, cut the burning down and allow a weather system to move through so that you don't get the problem at scale.
Yeah, that is one goal, that we are providing some data for the public use, that they know like what the status of the air pollution in that area. But we also have another applications as well, like analyzing those data and then provide some early warning to a forest fire rescue team, because they can know in advance like which location that had to be a fire is going on.
Yeah. Is this an AIT funded activity? I mean, this is a long commitment.
Talking about the funding is quite complicated, because we have been generally supported by many funders. Like initially we get support from the French government.
Development projects from them.
Yeah, from them. And then we also expanded, get the funding from national fundings as well. Right, one of them is like ours, a Thai regulator is called NBTC.
Yeah.
And we also get the support from the EU co-fund with the APAN community called Asia Connects programs.
Yeah.
As well. But they still have more behind that one. The funding.
But this is not a program that's looking to end. This is a continuing obligation to understand the problem. I think it's really interesting that we can now see that things that we take as part of our lived experience, building out networks, building cellular fabrics, there's this component for you, Sukumal, where you need to look at the quality of them and assess them as things in their own. But then there's the part you're in, Addison, where you look at these networks. The whole point of the network is to do something useful. And here you are doing something useful using a network. So, Addison, for your project, do you have student-directed outcomes? Are people actually managing to get higher degrees working in this project?
Yes, because one of the reasons why we try to design everything from the hardware and software, because we want to involve with the students and so on. So now we recruit the students graduate from AIT and also elsewhere to join these projects as well. So we have a master student graduate from AIT joining this one. We also have the intern as and bachelor degrees join as internships as well for the data analytics and so on.
That's great. It's fantastic. Thank you. It's really interesting to hear about this.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So, it's our pleasure because we can share what we're doing. Actually, the platform is live. You can visit the website called hazemon, hazemon.in.th.
If you've got a story or research to share here on Ping, why not get in contact by email to ping@apnic.net or via the APNIC social media channels. Also, remember the measurement at apnic.net mailing list on Orbit is there to discuss and share relevant collaborative opportunities, grants and funding opportunities, jobs and graduate placings, or to seek feedback from the community on your own measurement projects. Be sure to check out the APNIC website for all your resource and community needs. Until next time,